Good morning. I did a most beautiful study on 2 Kings chapter 5. Thought I would share. It's about Naaman being healed of leprosy. The king of Aram has a servant. His name is Naaman. Say hi, Naaman. The king of Aram and Naaman have a good relationship. Only problem is Naaman has leprosy. Oh, geez, guy. I wish I could heal you of that leprosy. Me too. Now, they just raided a land. They ended up coming back with a servant girl from Israel. Okay? And they gave her to Naaman's wife. So Naaman's wife and the servant girl are probably talking and, she's probably combing her hair. You're so beautiful. You're a beautiful lady. She's just combing her hair, probably painting her little nails or whatever. Just taking care of her. That's what servants do. Now, while they're sharing or whatever, the servant girl tells to her, if your husband went to the land of Israel, he could be healed of his leprosy. Oh, really? Yes, ma'am. She's finished. She goes off. Naaman comes in with his wife. They're talking. How was work? It was great, honey. I love you. Guess what? The servant girl said if you went to Israel, you could be healed of your leprosy. Really? Yes, babe, for real. So he goes to the king of Aram and he's telling him, hey, that servant girl that you gave my wife said that if I went to Israel, I could be healed of leprosy. Oh, really? Yes, sir. That's what they're saying. Well, I'll send to the king of Israel and we'll get you all taken care of. Okay. So, meanwhile, he sends a letter, a bunch of silver, a bunch of gold, and he sends this letter to the king of Israel. So the king of Israel gets this letter and he's not like excited. He didn't care about these things. He's like, oh my gosh. He rinses his clothes. He's like, what am I? I'm not God. How am I going to heal this dude of leprosy? If I could heal this dude, I could heal all the other lepers that we have in Israel. So this is his mindset. He rips his clothes. He's very sad. His countenance has fallen. And Elisha hears about it. Elisha. He doesn't see him. He just hears about it. And he says, oh, this is no biggie. Just when they get here, send him over to my house. So Naaman does end up going to travel down to Israel. And when he gets there, he gets to Elisha's house and they're like, knock, knock, knock. Who comes to the door? Elisha's servant, not Elisha. Elisha's servant tells Naaman and the officer, all right, my prophet Elisha says to go down to the Jordan River and dip 7 times and you will be healed. Thank you. And Naaman's looking at his officer and he's like, wait, what? He wants me to go down to the Jordan River and dip 7 times. The Damascus River and the Pharpar River and this other river are 10 times better than the Jordan River. Why would I go rip in this river 7 times? And why is this all that he's telling me to do? Now he's complaining because the man of God has told him to go do something. He's complaining about how this healing is supposed to happen. So he leaves. I'm not going to dip in no river. I don't care what he said. I ain't going on there. So they just been traveling on their way. They're going, woo. And the servant says to Naaman, now, Captain, I know you're the captain and everything, but I need you to listen to me. If he had asked you to do some great thing like, who knows, I don't know, climb a mountain and jump off, your skin would be healed or something. If he asked you to do something great, you would do it. But all he's asking you to do is to go down to the Jordan River and dip 7 times. Why not just do it? Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Except for you're going to get wet. And so Naaman thought about it. And he was like, okay, yeah, maybe you're right. So Naaman goes on to the Jordan River and he dips 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when he comes up, his flesh is like that of a new child. Now, I don't know about y'all, but my kids that are like 5, 6, 7, the young child, their skin is like flawless. It is so beautiful. There's no blemishes on it unless they've fallen and gotten scarred up. But their skin itself is absolutely beautiful. And he comes up and his skin is beautiful. And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. So So, he goes and he, shows his servant. Servant's probably like, ooh, you look good. So he tries to go back to Elijah to go give him the gifts. But Elijah's like, no, I don't need any gifts. No, I don't need any gifts. And he doesn't take the gifts or whatever. But he says to Elijah, at least since you won't take the gifts, please, I just need you to make sure that with God I'm good. Because from now on, I'm not going to be serving the fake gods that we have